Hello mga kawamat. In this video lesson, we will discuss the first topic in term 2 of general mathematics, the piecewise functions. So we will discuss the introduction, how to graph the piecewise function, and how to express the real world scenarios or a problem then you're going to express using the piecewise functions. So when you say piecewise function is a function that is defined by two or more equation or rules where each equation applies only to a specific part of the domain. So we can in simple terms, different input values may follow different rules. So the word piecewise means that the function is defined into pieces. So each piece has its own mathematical rule and a condition that tell us when the rule should be used. So a general form of a piecewise function is looks like this. F of x is equal to, so may rule number 1, and then may given condition. So para siyang ganyan, no? For example, f of x is equal to x plus 2. Ito yung rule 1 niya. Ang given condition, x is less than 0. And then f of x is equal to 2x plus 1 if x is greater than or equal to 0. So ganito ang itsura ng piecewise function natin. Merong rule and then may condition na kasama. So, ang ibig sabihin lang nito, gagamitin lang natin yung function na x plus 2 when x is less than 0. At gagamitin nyo lang din yung 2x plus 1 when x is greater than or equal to 0. Ibig sabihin, yung mga values ng x na simula 0 and to positive infinity. So a piecewise function does not mean that we use all the formulas at the same time. So hindi lahat no gagamitin mo depende sa hinihingi and kung saan pasok na condition. So where does the given value of x belong? Once we identify the correct interval, we use only the rule assigned to that interval. So how to graph a piecewise function? So when graphing a piecewise function, treat each rule as a separate graph. So but draw it only over its specified interval. So here are the following steps. Una, you can identify its rule. Identify the domain restriction for its rule or the condition. Graph the first rule only within its specified domain. So sa sinabing domain class, pwede kayo gumawa ng table of values. Kayo pwede mag-assign ng x values nyo. Okay? Then graph the next rule within its own domain. Check the endpoints. So you can use open circle if the endpoints is not included. Kung ang symbol na ginamit ay greater than and less than. But close or solid circle if the endpoint is included less than or equal or greater than or equal. So tandaan yan ha. So halimbawa may given tayo na graph or na piecewise function. So f of x is equal to x plus 2 if x is less than 1. 2x minus 1 if x is greater than or equal to 1. So una, so since kailangan pa rin natin i-compute no, yung value ng x is 1, pero sa graph natin, hindi siya included. Kaya mamaya, naka-open yung circle. So, if your x is 1, sa substitute lang natin dito sa function natin. So, 1 plus 2, your y is 3. So, since x is equal to 1 is not included, okay, place an open circle at 1, 3. Sa second piece natin or the second interval natin, so we have 4x is greater than or equal to 1. If your x is equal to 1, using this function, ang gagamitin natin, yung 2x minus 1 naman. So, y is equal to 2, palitan yung x ng 1, so that will become 2, minus 1 is 1. So, the answer is 1 then, no? 1, 1. So, since x is equal to 1, included, place a closed circle at 1, 1. So, ito yung graph. So, dito class, Kaya siya sa 1, 3 naka-open yung circle. Okay, kasi hindi included yung 1. Okay? So, ang sabi dito, use open circle when the endpoint is not included. Kapag less than or greater than. So, pwede kayo na kayo na yung gumawa ng table of values nyo. So, or you can use the graphing application like Desmos. Another, since dito naman sa pangalawa, yung f of x is equals to 2x minus 1 if x is greater than or equal to 1. So ito yon, ito yung graph niya. Since 1, 1 is included dahil ang gamit niya ay greater than or equal, so included. Kaya shaded or closed circle. Okay? Pag ganun yung graph niya. So ito yung graph ng first example natin. So the equation tell us what to graph, while the condition tell us where to graph it. For example number 2, okay, we have a constant and a linear functions. So for x is less than or equal to negative 1, ang y natin is 2. So ano yung mga less than or equal to negative 1? Negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, and so on and so forth, no? So yun yun. Pero yung y natin is 2. Then, since ang x is equal to negative 1 ay ang ginamit ay less than or equal, so close circle kasama si negative 1, 2. For the next one, for y is equal to x plus 1, where x is greater than to negative 1. So, open circle ang gagamitin natin dahil si negative 1 ay hindi kasama. So, at x is equal to negative 1, so ito yung boundary natin. So, kailangan pa rin natin kunin yung boundary natin dahil doon magsisimula yung graph natin. So, substitute lang natin, negative 1 plus 1 is 0. So, naka-open ang circle natin sa negative 1, 0. So, ito yung una, nandito sa negative 1, 2. Yung pangalawa naman, sa negative 1, 0. Ito yon. Okay? So, another graph. So, we have linear and quadratic, no? We will use the linear function, y is equal to x plus 2 when your x is less than 0. Kapag gagamitin naman natin yung quadratic, f of x is equal to x squared kapag yung x mo ay greater than or equal to 0. So, ang first piece natin, so we can graph y is equal to x plus 2 only when x is less than 0. So, kapag ang x mo ay 0, y is equal to 2. Okay, kasi 0 plus 2, that is 2. And then, this is open circle since less than, no? So, second piece natin, y is equal to x squared. If your x is 0, so y is 0. So, sa 0, 0 ang simula nitong pangalawang function natin, yung quadratic function natin, na y is equal to x squared. So, sa 0, 0. So, ito yon. Ito yung y is equal to x plus 2. Ito yung graph niya. Naka-open siya sa 0, 3, 0, so play 0 to dapat. So dapat dito yung umpisa, no? Okay, so dito dapat siya 0 to. So ibaba niyo lang kapag kinaping nyo. And then sa pangalawa, magsisimula talaga siya sa 0, 0. So pag ganito lang yung graph natin. Okay? So hindi siya buo na parabola, no? Kasi baka iniisip nyo, since quadratic functions, since may restriction tayo or may condition tayo na binigay, ng x nyo lang dapat ay greater than or equal to 0. So ito lang yun. Ito lang yung graph niya. Next example, so ito ay pang-ano nyo na din. For example number 4, meron tayong tatlo na given function. Una, we have f of x equal to negative x if your x is less than negative 2. F of x is 2 if your x is greater than or equal to negative 2 but less than 2. Next, f of x equal to x if your x is greater than or equal to 2. So, gagamitin lang natin ito. Ano ba yung mga less than sa negative 2? So, y is equal to negative x. Okay, ito ang gagamitin natin. So, kapag gumawa kayo ng table of values, so halimbawa, negative 1. Kasi less than sa, no, less than sa -2, -3. So, -3, so ang sagot pa rin natin ay magiging +3. So, ito yung graph nung una. Okay, ito yun. Actually, using the piecewise function, pwede kayong maka-create ng mga objects or minsan shapes, pwede rin, no? Okay, minsan nga pwede kayo makapag-create ng character using the piecewise function. So, kagaya nito, okay, dudugtungan lang natin yung piecewise function natin. Pwede na tayo maka-create ng shape dito. So, sa pangalawa, itong y is equal to 2, ito yung graph niya. Okay, as you can see class, the graph, may mga endpoints lang, no? Hindi tuloy-tuloy. Hindi kagaya dito sa graph nung una natin. So, continuous yan. But, open yung ah, ah, points dito. Naka-open circle. So, sa pangalawa, since x is greater than or equal to -2, so mula dito, -2 no? Papunta dyan, ay so ito open, so sa -2, so dapat sa -2, dito dapat siya, no? Ah, since mag-overlap, yan ay dapat naka-shaded. Close dapat, no? Kapag hiniwalay natin, no? Kasi dito nag-overlap kasi, so hindi nyo makikita kung kapag naka-open and close circle dito. Kaya siguro nilagay muna niya dito to check na yung dapat dito siya, no? Sa -2. Okay, next. Yung pangatlong graph natin, since shaded dapat, dito naman shaded dapat. No? X is greater than 2, so continuous. So walang endpoint. So sa example number 5 natin, basta tatandaan natin, yung x is equal to -2 natin is the middle piece includes the endpoint. Okay? Ang x is equal to 2 naman natin, exclude the endpoint. Okay? So while the third piece, kasama dapat talaga. So dito sa example number 5 natin, so sa example number 5, yung unang function natin, okay, f of x is equal to 1 or y is equal to 1 kapag yung x mo ay less than sa -2. Saan ba yung -2 natin? Dito dapat, no? So, 2, 1. Dapat dito yung umpisa niya. And then sa pangalawa, y is equal to x plus 3. So, ang y is equal to x plus 3, pero meron kasi tayong condition, kaya parehong may endpoint. So, dun sa -2, dapat dito rin siya. Okay, so nag-overlap yung mga graph. -2. Dapat dito, no? Okay, hanggang sa 1. Okay? So, kapag yung x natin, like for example, ay 0, okay, your 0, so yung ano mo ay 4. Okay, if your x is 0 and this is 4. So dito. Next, ito yung pangatlo naman natin, y is equal to x squared. This will be the graph. Okay, so x is greater than 1. So dito siya mag-uumpisa talaga. Okay? 1 is 1 squared, so 1. 1, 1. So tama yung graph ng pangatlo natin. So always check each interval and its endpoint. Kapag open circle, for not included, so less than and greater than lang dapat. Pag closed circles, kapag ang symbol na ginamit is less than or equal or greater than or equal. So for problem, we can express also this into piecewise function. So gamit yung problem, paano natin express using the piecewise function? A tricycle charged 30 pesos for the first 2 kilometers. For every kilometers traveled beyond 2 kilometers, an additional 8 pesos per kilometer is charged. So, sa una, from the start, papuntang 2 kilometers, ang babayad mo lang ay 30 pesos. And then, kapag beyond 2 kilometers na, ibig sabihin, greater than, no? Ang beyond is greater than 2 kilometers, may additional na 8 pesos. So, we will use f of x as a piecewise function and x as the distance traveled in kilometers. So, first, so again, itong gagamitin natin. So, una, Sabi dito, 30 pesos for the first 2 kilometers. So, paano natin gagawin yon? So, ibig sabihin, ang X, di ba, is the distance traveled in kilometers. So, this means that 30 pesos fare applies from the beginning of the trip up to the including 2 kilometers. So, therefore, X is greater than 0 mula sa start, no? Okay, sa beginning ng trip, but less than or equal to 2. So, bakit x is greater than 0? Because the trip must be have a positive distance. So, hindi natin pwedeng magkaroon ng equal sign dito. No? So, dapat after 0. So, greater than 0. So, next is less than or equal to 2 because the praise first 2 kilometers. So, ibig sabihin, 2 is included, no? Kapag na-reach niya mula umpisa ng biyahe niya papuntang 2 kilometers, ang ibabayad niya lang ay 30 pesos. So, kung hindi ka man umabot sa 2 kilometers, 30 pesos pa rin yung ibabayad mo. Kahit 1 kilometers lang or nasa 500 meters nga lang yung biyahe mo. So, ibig sabihin, 30 pesos pa rin yung ibabayad. Kasi, yun yung rule. So the first rule, f of x is equal to 30, ang ibabayad, if your x, okay, distance to, no? Ang ibig sabihin, kapag yung distance traveled mo is greater than 0, but less than or equal to 2. Meron pang isang condition, no? Mag-a-add tayo ng 8 pesos beyond 2 kilometers. So, the problem say for every kilometer traveled beyond 2 kilometers, the word beyond means greater than. Okay, so ibig sabihin, gagamit natin symbol is greater than. So the additional distance is not x but x minus 2. So ang gagamitin natin, x minus 2. Ima-minus natin yung naunang 2 kilometers. Okay? Because the first 2 kilometers are already covered by 30 pesos. So ibig sabihin, sa pangalawang condition na beyond 2 kilometers, an additional 8 pesos, we will use f of x is equal to 30 plus yung additional na 8 pesos times the additional distance. So, ang representation natin sa additional distance ay x minus 2. So, for the second one, f of x is equal to 30 plus x times x minus 2 if x is greater than 2. So, for the final answer, ito na yung piecewise function natin. F of x is equal to 30 if your x is greater than 0 but less than or equal to 2. And then 30 plus 8 times 8, uh, 30 plus 8 times x minus 2 is x greater than 2. Next problem. A photocopying shop charged 3 pesos per page, a fewer than 50 pages, 3 pesos per page for fewer than 50 pages. For exactly 50 pages, the shop offers a package price of 130 pesos. For more than 50 pages, the customer pays 130 pesos plus 2 pesos for each additional page. So let x as the number of pages, C of x as the total photocopying cost. So meron tatlong condition. So una daw, ah, kapag yung pinapotocopy mo ay mas mababa sa 50 pages, ang bayad ay 3 pesos per page. Pero kung eksaktong 50 pages yung pinapotocopy mo, ang ibabayad mo na lang ay 130 pesos. Pero more than 50 pages, so ang babayaran mo, 130 plus 2 pesos per page dun sa additional kapag more than 50 pages. So isa-isahin natin. Pag sinabi natin fewer than, less than yon, mas mababa sa 50. Kaya ang symbol na gagamitin natin ay less than. So, ibig sabihin, because the customer must photocopy at least one page, so your X, the number of pages, is greater than 0 but less than 50. 50 is not included, ha? Okay, kaya siya walang equal sign dito. Okay, kasi sabi dito fewer than 50. So less than 50. So yan ang gagamitin natin. So cost is 3 pesos per page. So C of X is equal to 3x. Bakit siya 3x? So yung X is the number of pages. So halimbawa, 10 pages, 10 times 3. So 30 pesos. Okay? Ang babayaran mo lang. So C of X, so itong gagamitin natin ha. C of X is equal to 3x if your X is less than 0 but less than 50. So yun yung una. Pangalawa, okay, magbabayad ka ng exactly 130 pesos kapag ang number of page mo ay 50. So, y, C of x is equal to 130 if your x is equal to 50. So, next, the praise more than 50 means greater than. So, the first 50 pages cost 130 pesos. The number of pages beyond 50, so ito rin, no? Tatandaan nyo na to ha, yung kapag nag-a-add. So, beyond 50, ito ang gagamitin natin, x minus 50. So, each extra page costs 2 pesos. So, C of x is equal to 130 plus 2 times the quantity of x minus 50. So yung piecewise function natin, C of x is equal to 3x if your x is greater than 0 but less than 50. C of x is 130 if your x is equal to 50, exacto. And C of x is equal to 130 plus 2 times the quantity of x minus 50 if x is greater than 50. Next, a supplier sells customized schools t-shirts for 250 pesos each for orders of fewer than 20 shirts. An order of exactly 20 shirts costs 4,400. For orders of more than 20 shirts, the suppliers charge 4,400 plus 200 pesos for each additional shirt. So, ito, kagaya ito sa Divisoria, di ba, no? May mga wholesale and retail sila. So, ang gagamitin natin, let X is the number of shirts ordered. P of X is the total purchase cost. So, kapag mababa sa 20 shirts ang in-order mo, ang babayaran mo 250 pesos per shirt. Okay, kung apat, 250 times 4, so 1,000 babayaran mo. Pero kung exactly 20 shirts ang binili mo, ang babayaran mo na lang ay 40,400. So kung more than 20 shirts, ang babayaran mo 4,400 plus 200 bawat isang shirt na binili mo. Okay. So, una, fewer than means less than. Again, no? Less than. Kagaya nung previous problem natin. So, X, since at least one shirt must be purchased, X is greater than or equal to 1. So, ibig sabihin, hindi tayo pwedeng maglagay ng 0 kasi hindi pwede may 0 na distance, ay may shirt na 0.5. So, dapat sa whole number lang tayo kasi t-shirt siya, di ba? So, simula tayo sa 1. So, X is greater than or equal to 1. Bakit equal sa 1? Kasi pwede siyang bumili ng isang t-shirt lang. Kaya kasama included si 1. But less than 20. So, ang babayaran mo is 250 bawat t-shirt. Kaya 250x. So, ang gagamitin natin, sa pangalawa naman, if x is equal to 20, p of x is equal to 4,400. Sa pangatlo, if more than 20, x is greater than 20. So, ang gagamitin natin, the additional shirt will be x minus 20. So, 4,400 plus 200 times the quantity of x minus 20. So, the final answer, the total purchase cost P of x is equal to 250x as x greater than or equal to 1 but less than 20, 4,400 if your x is equals to 20, and 4,400 plus 200 times x minus 20 if your x is greater than 20. So, halimbawa, ang binili mong t-shirt ay 40. So, mahigit 20 na yun, di ba? So, ito yung gagamitin mo para to compute kung magkano yung babayaran. Next problem, a mall charged 50 pesos for the first 3 hours of parking. For parking beyond 3 hours but not more than 6 hours, an additional 20 pesos per hour is charged. For parking beyond 6 hours, the customer pays 110 pesos plus 30 pesos for every additional hours. So we can express X as number of hours parked and P of X as parking fee. So for the first 3 hours, ito lang ang gagamitin natin. So beyond, ibig sabihin, beyond 3 hours. But not more than, ito pala yan. For the first 3 hours. So ito yon. Okay, mula sa umpisa, so kaya greater than 0. But less than or equal to 3 hours. So ang babayaran mo, 50 pesos. So halimbawa, 2 hours lang or kaya kalahating oras. Pwede na, 45 minutes. Kaya pwede talaga. Halimbawa, nag-park ka lang ng 5 minutes. Umabot lang ng 5 minutes. So, 30 pesos, 50 pesos pa rin yung babayaran mo. Yun yung rule kasi, no? Kaya, sulitin mo na hanggang 2 hours, di ba? Next, kapag beyond 3 hours, kapag sinabing beyond, greater than yon. So, and then, but not more than 6 hours. Not more than 6 hours. So, that will be less than or equal to 6. Kasama si 6 included. Not more than, less than or equal. So, if we're going to combine, your X or the number of hours parked is greater than 3 but less than or equal to 6. So, then meron tayong additional hours na x minus 3. So, ang gagamitin nating function, p of x is equal to 50. Yan, 50 plus 20 pesos times x minus 3. If your x is greater than 3 but less than or equal to 6. For step 4, beyond 6 hours, ibig sabihin greater than. So kapag greater than 6, so ibig sabihin, ang gagamitin na natin dito is 110. Okay, P of X is equal to 110 plus 30 pesos. So X minus 6. Okay? So X minus 6 ang gagamitin natin. Since yun yung the number of hours beyond 6. Yan ang gagamitin natin. So halimbawa, first, determine the accumulated cost hours kasi although nandito naman sa problem na 110 pesos. But if you're going to check 50 plus 20 times 6 minus 3 is 60 plus what's 110. So that's why 100 plus 110 plus 30 times x minus 6. So the final answer, P of x is equal to 50 if x is greater than 0 but less than or equal to 3. 50 plus 20 times x minus 3 if your x is greater than 3 but less than or equal to 6, and 110 plus 30 times x minus 6 if your x is greater than 6. Another problem, a mobile data provider charged 299 pesos for the first 5 gigabytes of data for usage beyond 5 gigabytes but not more than 10 gig or 10 gigabytes, the provider charges an additional 40 pesos per gigabytes. For usage beyond 10 gigabytes, the customer pays 499 pesos plus 60 pesos per additional gigabyte. So we can express X as the data consumed in gigabytes, C of X as the total charge. So the first 5 gigabytes is we can express like this. Your X or the data consumed is greater than 0 but less than or equal to 5. So, for the first 5 gigabytes. So, ito yon, no? So, kasama yung 5. So, ang babayaran mo dyan ay 299 pesos. So, C of X is equal to 299 pesos. So, next, beyond 5 gigabyte but not more than 10. So, beyond is greater than but not more than 10. So, 10 is included. So, ibig sabihin, your X is greater than 5 but less than or equal to 10. So, magkano kukumputin natin kapag ganun? Kapag umabot ka sa ganyan ng usage mo. So, your C of X is equal to 299 plus 40 pesos times kung magkano yung sobra. X minus 5. Doon naman sa beyond 10 gigabytes, so that is greater than, so X is greater than 10. So we will use first, alamin muna natin yung 10, no? So magkano ba yung 10? So since walang binanggit sa problem, okay, meron naman pala ito 499. This is for checking only, no? So ang gagamitin natin 499 plus 60 times x minus 10. So that is beyond 10 gigabytes. So for the final answer, so the total charge C of x is C of x equal to 299. If your x is greater than 0 but less than or equal to 5, C of x is 299 plus 40 times x minus 5 if x is greater than 5 but less than or equal to 10. And 499 plus 60 times x minus 10 if x is greater than 10. So, dito nakalagay beyond 5 but not more than 10, it can be translated like this, no? Tatandaan yung mga ganyang symbols. Kung paano tayo nagta-translate. For problem number 5, Mr. Santos is an employee in Manila, so his annual taxable income is represented by X pesos. Under the current Philippine graduated income tax schedule, his income tax depend on the bracket in which his taxable income falls. So we can express T of X as a piecewise function. So gagawin natin as X, no, yung ano natin, in pesos, no? And then T of x as the piecewise functions. So kapag ginawa natin yan, x is the annual taxable income. Then T of x is the annual income tax. So T of x, 0 ang babayaran mo kapag your x is greater than 0 but less than or equal to 250,000. So alam mo, hindi ka kumita, okay, wala kang income, o yung income mo ay nasa pagitan ng 0 at 250,000, so wala ka pang tax. Pero kapag yung income mo, if your X is greater than 250,000, so mas mataas sa 250,000, ibig sabihin 250,001 ang start, no? But less than or equal to 400,000, ang computation ng tax mo, 0.15 times yung X dito yung kung magkano yung kita mo, yung annual income, minus 250,000. So, ganun siya i-compute. And then, if your income, if your income is greater than 400,000 but less than or equal to 800,000, so ito yung computation. 22,500 plus 0.20 times x minus 400,000. If your income is greater than 800,000 but less than or equal to 2 million, so the computation of your tax is 102,500 plus 0.25 times x minus 800,000. And then if your income is 2 million but less than or greater than 2 million but less than or equal to 8 million, the computation of your tax is 402,500 plus 0.30 times x minus 2 million. And if your tax, if your annual income is greater than 8 million, so the computation of your annual income, annual tax is 220, no, 2,202,500 plus 0.35 times x minus 8 million. So for example, your annual income is 600,000. So saan siya pasok dito? Okay, dito na sa pangatlo. Itong 22,000, so ito yung gagamitin natin. So, pasok siya dun sa pangatlong na term, no? So, ang gagamitin natin is 22,500 plus 0.20 times x minus 400,000. So, since we will substitute sa value ng x yung 600,000, so 22,500 plus 0.20 times 600,000 minus 400,000. So 600,000 minus 400,000 is 20,000. So 20,000 times 0.20 is 40,000. 40,000 plus 22,500, that is 62,500 pesos. So, ibig sabihin, sa loob ng isang taon, ang babayaran mong tax ay 62,500. So, kung i-divide mo yan by 12, para malaman mo yung monthly tax mo, i-divide mo lang ito ng 12.